All right, round one, probably one of the easiest rounds to score, to be completely honest, because Bud didn't really throw much. I think he was trying to download data most of the round. When he did throw, he wasn't really landing anything of consequence. What surprised me about Shawn, let me change that. This actually doesn't surprise me about Shawn. If you watch boxing, you know Shawn Porter always puts on the best fights and he always comes out blazing and brawling on the inside and lunging in. So this doesn't surprise me. At least that doesn't surprise me. What really surprised me was he was landing flush onto Bud and he was like cornering Bud. I was actually surprised by that. But like I said, Bud really wasn't throwing much. I think he was downloading data. Another thing to leave off, I don't want to leave off, is Shawn defense was way better this fight than it usually is. But pretty easy round to score. This one goes to Shawn Porter. Round two, I think this was another easy round to score, at least for me. I remember the commentators were saying this was a swing round, and I just didn't see it that way. Bud, he did uptick his activity level, but he didn't really land anything of consequence like Shawn was. Shawn was very calculated behind his attack. Like Shawn wasn't just lunging in like he always does. He was coming behind the jab. He also would mix it up with Bud. He didn't in these early rounds, he didn't always do the same thing. He didn't always brawl. He didn't always box. He didn't always stand at mid-range. So it was Bud still couldn't find his timing. And the biggest punch landed in the round with Shawn. And I also think Shawn landed more of the punches. So I really don't know how this one was a swing round. But you can see Bud catching up with Shawn. Just a little tad bit, he was catching up with Shawn timing. But Shawn was clearly winning on the inside. That's what he does, though. That's exactly what he does. He was clearly winning on the inside, and it was very noticeable. It wasn't a surprise to anybody, and I don't think anybody else would disagree. But give this one to Shawn Porter. You know, we keep getting these easy rounds to score. Once again, this was an easy round to score. Round three. Even though first half of the round, nobody was really landing anything of consequence. They were both throwing, but they were both missing. Halfway through the round, Shawn did start lunging in and taking on the attack and landing some good punches on the inside like he always does, of course. I think he just took control of the round. It was honestly crazy, and I think this messed Bud up. But Shawn, he was fighting on the back foot in this round. He was fighting on the back foot, which he normally doesn't do. He was letting Bud walk him down, and he would just pick his time when to lunge in and land his punches. Close to the end of the round, they got in the exchange and a brawl, and once again, Shawn got the better of it. He got the better of it. Can't even lie. It didn't really hurt Bud, but you could tell it landed flush and it landed good. But I do think in that exchange, that is where Shawn got cut. And I do think that really turned Bud up. Also, the end of the round, they got in a little tussle, a little wrestle tussle. And Bud realized how stronger he was than Shawn. I think that was also turned him up. But I have it 3-0 right now, Shawn Porter. This round, this was, one of the best rounds I've seen out of Bud Crawford. He was catching Shawn with absolutely everything. Shawn tried to switch up his attack. He tried to do the same thing he did in the last round, box off the back foot. Wasn't happening. He was walking him down. Once Shawn tried to lunge in, Bud was counterpunching him. So it really didn't matter what they was doing. If they was fighting on the outside, Bud was throwing combinations and he was landing almost everything he was throwing. This was just a great round for Bud, man. I don't know if something they said in the corner really turned him up or him seeing that cut turned him up, but this was just a good round, man. He needed this, though. He upticked in activity and he landed, finding his timing, so everything went smooth this round. This is the first round I gave to Terence Bud Crawford. Round 5. One thing I noticed about this round is Bud, he changed up his attack. In round 4, he was attacking to the body and he was countering to the body. This round, he went back to a countering and attacking to the head. And I think that messed him up this round. Porter, he completely changed his attack also, which is very, very smart. You can't be doing the same thing out there with Bud. But he stopped fighting on the back foot and he started, lunging in like he usually do. He started walking them down and he just started brawling on the inside. And I haven't seen Bud win a brawl in this fight yet. He ain't won on the inside in this fight yet. And it was to a point where some of the punches weren't really landing, but they was also landing somewhere on the shoulders, on the pads. Some was getting through. So Porter was scoring points and he was having more activity this round. But I feel like this round is completely Bud's fault because he went back to the head and not the body. I give this round to Shawn Porter. Talk about a whole 180 of a fight. This round was all Bud Crawford. He came out blazing. And the difference with this round is he was landing to the head and the body. In earlier rounds, he would land just to the body and miss the head. This round, everything he was throwing was landing. I noticed in this round that Bud changed up his punch trajectory. Like the way he was throwing his punches, completely changing. Well, at least to the head, and that was working. Combinations also working. Changed up his combinations a little bit, and that was also working. Every time Shawn tried to lunge in and brawl, Bud would either hold him or he would counter him to the body. And I think that was wearing Shawn down. Bud already stronger than him. And the punches to the body. And this is also the first round where I seen Bud brawl and win the brawl. A lot of times he ain't gonna win the brawl with Shawn Porter. That's just the type of fighter he is. But this time, Bud won the brawl in this round. So this round goes to Bud. Round 7. Now this is a good round for both guys. When Porter was getting on the inside, he was landing some good stuff. And Bud was also landing some good stuff at mid-range and from the outside. A thing I noticed this round is Bud kind of changed up how he was fighting. I seen that he was pawing at Porter's lead hand, which probably was messing up his rhythm. He was also, every time Porter lunged in, he was throwing that right hook to get out the way. He probably did it earlier, but it was really, really noticeable in this round. He was punching well. They both was landing some good stuff, but I think Bud controlled the ring. I think his punches was definitely more effective. Definitely more effective. Like I said earlier, Porter, he doesn't really land his punches flush all the time. And when he does throw, it's not really hitting anything. And if it is hitting something, you can't really tell. So I got to give this round to Bud. Round 8, the fight has completely changed, to be completely honest with you. The early rounds were all Shawn, and I think it changed in the middle to late rounds to completely Bud. This round was just an absolute masterpiece. Masterpiece. You can really tell. It seemed like, I don't know if he wasn't using his hand speed earlier, but Bud's hand speed was just so much faster than Porter's this round. I don't know if Shawn got tired and Bud, isn't tired. Maybe those body shots were taking into effect. But every time Shawn tried to lunge in, it would either be a counter or a hug. And if they did brawl, Bud was getting the better of it simply because of his hand speed. Punches was landing to the body and to the face. Although I do think Porter caught him with a good shot. Good shot. And close to the end of the round, but didn't really do anything for this round because Bud was just on one this round. Right after Porter caught him with a good shot, Bud caught him with a good body shot. So Gotta give this round to Bud. And after 8 rounds, I have it 4-4. Talk about what a fight. Round 9 might have been the slowest round of the fight. Neither guy was really landing anything of consequences. I don't know if they were both just trying to throw the right punch at the right time, but it's a lot of staring going on. But I do think, it kind of picked up at the end. Not gonna lie, the last 1 minute, I do think Bud controlled the round more than Shawn did. Also, when it picked up and they brawled, they both were landing good punches, but I think Bud punches were landing better. His counters were landing better. I think he won the brawl. Every time Shawn tried to lunge in, he would olay him. So Shawn couldn't really lunge in at all this round. It was a slow round though, but I feel like it was a kind of an easy round to score. I think Shawn tried to steal the round at the end, but realized he couldn't. So I gave this round to Bud Crawford. Now, remember, I got this round for Bud. As the scorecard said, my scorecard is 5 rounds Terence Crawford, 4 rounds Shawn Porter. Remember that, because the next round is the infamous they say he up round. I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm just going to let y'all experience the round. And just like that, down goes Porter. Down goes Porter. ah, he still could go though. He still can go. We know Shawn's a warrior, so once again, I'm not even gonna say nothing. Let's just finish it. Down goes Porter. Down goes Porter. He ain't knocked out, but he's knocked down. We know Porter's a warrior. He could still go. Never seen him knocked out. Crazy thing is his dad stopped the fight. He can still go, but I guess his dad knows his son the best. And now remember what I said. Terence Crawford was up on my scorecard. And he was also up on all of the judges' scorecard, which is crazy. So that infamous he up, what happened in the corner, I mean, it was real, but it also wasn't realistic. Whoever told him that Shawn Porter was up was completely wrong. But maybe if he didn't tell him that, maybe this knockout wouldn't have happened. Who knows what would have happened if he never told him that Shawn Porter was up. He might have been chilling the whole rest of the fight. We never know. But if you want to see more of these, comment a fight that you want to see. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.